Donald Trump heading to Detroit tomorrow in a push to rally minority support. Trump's recent appeals to black voters have been in front of majority white crowds, but Detroit pastor Bishop Wayne Jackson says that's why this visit will be the real test for Trump's message to African-American communities.
I'm very, very, very concerned about that. What would his administration look like? He asked me, I didn't go to him. He asked me, and I said, after prayer, because I knew it was going to be a big emotional uproar. I knew that. But, you know, real leaders have to make tough decisions.
Joining me now, former member of President George W. Bush's senior staff, Brad Blakeman, and New York Republican Senate candidate, attorney, and former legal advisor to Mitt Romney, Wendy Long. Wendy, first of all, what the preacher said is extraordinary. It's lovely to see a person who may not necessarily agree with the guy he's hosting, but wants to give him a forum because he believes in the truth. If we had more people like that, perhaps Donald Trump would have more leeway.
Well, that's the way it's supposed to happen in an election. I mean, it's supposed to be a testing process, and things are just supposed to get jumbled up, and new people meet with candidates, and kind of the lines are blurred, and people look for new support. I think it's incredibly exciting, and knowing what's in Donald Trump's heart and how he wants to reach out to this community, and how long it's been since any Republican has really effectively done that. Yeah. It's just so incredibly exciting. It's an American thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
And yet, Brad, in 2008, Detroiters gave 97% of their vote to Barack Obama. In 2012, it was 98%. I mean, this is a tough group for a conservative Republican to crack.
No doubt. But look, don't expect a vote if you didn't earn a vote. And don't expect a vote if you don't give the audience the opportunity to understand how different you will be than something that they're used to. And one thing's for sure, I stood with Ronald Reagan in 1980 when he went to the South Bronx. Everybody said, what's he doing that for? He did it to make a statement that when he becomes president, he's going to be president of everyone. Mm-hmm. And so far, the minority communities in the United States have pretty much been ruled by Democratic administrations, mayors predominantly, who have just taken them for granted.
Right.
So Donald Trump needs to go there and ask them one question that Ronald Reagan would ask him. Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? Clearly the answer is no.
Wendy, that is the message that he's been trying out. And of course, he's trying it out in Detroit, which is sort of ground zero, a perfect example of what Brad was talking about. These communities that have been taken advantage of by Democrats for years, not only in terms of their promises being unfulfilled, but in terms of corruption. I mean, a lot of the Detroit mayors have either been investigated or ended up in jail.
Yeah. So to me, the question is not just, what do you have to lose, or look how bad things have been. I think he needs to turn it around and talk about what he has to offer and how much better it can be. One of the main themes of his campaign is this anti-corruption, against crooked Hillary, getting clean, honest, good government back. That would be huge just to start with. But beyond that, you know, getting back an economy where people can have the dignity of work and the purpose of work. And, you know, if you look to the original purposes of our country, David, it was life, liberty, and property, right? Mm-hmm. The pursuit of happiness is property. Those three things are really what he's focusing on and holding out to this community in terms of school and education, school choice, something that neither party is providing.
And
yet.
Brad, I'm wondering if he's going to try to link the corruption, which was so rampant in Detroit, and again, as I said before, led to at least one mayor going to jail, try to link that to the policies that kind of made it easier for politicians to dip in the till.
Well, I think Donald Trump should concentrate on two things. First of all, he should concentrate on how that community and other communities similarly situated around the country have been let down. And then he's got to lift them up. He's got to tell them what will Donald Trump's administration do for them that hasn't been done for them for years. And I believe Donald Trump is in the best position to do it. We saw him do it in Mexico, and he's going to do the same thing in Detroit.
Wendy, I saw you nodding, though, when I suggested that he may try to actually link the policies that have led nowhere economically to the corruption. That somehow when you have the big government, when you have less accountability in the money you're dealing with, it makes it easier for corrupt officials to take advantage of.
Exactly. Look what's happened to the food stamp program. Look at all the Medicaid and Medicare fraud. These huge, giant, out-of-control government programs are just complete bait for fraud, and that's exactly what we see.
Yeah, and Brad, of course, he's not going to be alone. As I mentioned, Dr. Ben Carson will be with him. Ben Carson grew up in Detroit. This is going to be a boon for Donald Trump. He'll be able to say, look, I'm being shown around. I don't know much. I'm a New Yorker, but I'm being shown around by one of your own.
You know, showing up as 50% and going to a place where you're unexpected to go, I think he just gets credit for doing that. But beyond that, Donald Trump has to deliver. And I think he will, just like he did with the Mexican president and then his speech following on immigration. He's now got to put some meat on the bone and tell people exactly what he's going to do, how he's going to do it.
And very quickly, Wendy, we only have 10 seconds. Beyond reaching out to the minority communities, he must also be reaching out to moderate Republicans and Democrats who are kind of wary of him. This is a real outreach. This is a good leader to have.
It shows his heart. It shows who he is. People who are wary about him want to see what he's made of, and this shows what he's made of.
Wendy and Brad, good to see you both. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. And thank you for joining